It was announced last night that one of the most influential and important figures in the history of Japanese professional wrestling in general, and combat sports has died. Yahoo Japan reported that Antonio Inoki passed away at his home on Saturday, October 1st. A specific cause of death was not reported, but Inoki's health problems over recent years were well known. In an interview earlier this year, he admitted he had been near death on a number of occasions. News of Inoki's passing came nearly 62 years to the day after his professional wrestling debut at the age of just 17 on September 13, 1960. Another literal and figurative giant in the history of professional wrestling, specifically Japanese professional wrestling history, Inoki's future tag team partner, Shuhei Baba, made his in-ring debut on the same card for Japan Pro Wrestling Alliance, later simply known as Japan Wrestling Alliance. Inoki and Baba's departures from the JWA changed the course of wrestling in Japan forever. In 1972, Inoki founded New Japan Pro Wrestling, while Baba founded All Japan Pro Wrestling. Without two of its top stars, the JWA collapsed. Inoki's influence spread around the world. Most famously, in 1976, he squared off against boxing icon Muhammad Ali in the infamous wrestler versus boxer match. The bout is viewed by many as a prelude to the future popularity of the sport of mixed martial arts. Inoki's leadership of New Japan Pro Wrestling was not without its troubles. His interest in MMA during the early 2000s gave birth to an in-ring philosophy that became known as Inokiism. However, the shift to the shoot fighting style nearly doomed New Japan Pro Wrestling. Inoki sold his stake in New Japan Pro Wrestling in 2005 and stepped away from the company. After that, Inoki explored other promotions and ventures following his exit from New Japan. Those included him founding the Inoki Genome Federation. But it wasn't just in pro wrestling that Inoki found success. He also found success in the political arena too. He served 2 terms in the House of Councillors. He was first elected in 1989. During that term, he notably travelled to Iraq, where he met with Saddam Hussein and successfully negotiated the release of a group of Japanese hostages. A failed re-election bid saw Inoki leave office, but he returned after being elected to a new term in 2013. This one was marked by a number of controversial trips to North Korea. Inoki retired from politics in 2019. Word of Inoki's death began circulating in North America and around the world on Friday night. The news of his passing was announced during Friday night's live broadcast of SmackDown on Fox, with Michael Cole conveying the company's condolences to Inoki's family, friends, and fans. On Twitter, WWE Chief Content Officer Paul Triple H Levesque also shared his own tribute, which we'll show to you in a second. Controversially, Inoki defeated Bob Backlund to win the WWF Heavyweight Championship in 1979. However, the company never actually officially recognized his reign. Inoki was inducted into the WWE Hall of Fame in 2010. Speaking of New Japan, many of New Japan Pro Wrestling's current top stars are in London, England, where the company is holding its 2-night Royal Quest 2 event this weekend. As I mentioned, Inoki is one of the most famous, well-known and influential stars in the history of Japanese and pro wrestling and combat sports. He is a rare pro wrestler that managed to transcend the sport, was able to really to branch out into other aspects of life. That wasn't just pro wrestling. As I mentioned, that was combat sports, the early prelude to what combat sports has now become, and also politics. And I don't think even this video can truly do justice to the reverence and the respect and just the admiration, especially that a lot of people around the world, but particularly in Japan, have, and the pure influence he has had on professional wrestling and on combat sports and arguably politics in Japan as well. What we're going to do right now is share you some of the tributes, some of the thoughts, some of the condolences of social media, professional wrestling, and everyone around the world as we pay tribute to the late Antonio Inoki. New Japan Pro Wrestling's Twitter account tweeted, quote, "New Japan Pro Wrestling is deeply saddened at the passing of our founder, Antonio Inoki. His achievements both in professional wrestling and the global community are without parallel and will never be forgotten. Our thoughts are with Inoki's family, friends, and fans." WWE also posted their own tribute, tweeting, quote, "WWE is saddened to learn of the passing of WWE Hall of Famer Antonio Inoki." A further, more in-depth tribute was posted on their website. Impact Wrestling also tweeted, quote, Impact Wrestling would like to extend our condolences to the family, friends, and fans of Antonio Inoki. We are saddened to learn of his passing and know his legacy will live forever. The National Wrestling Alliance also tweeted, quote, The National Wrestling Alliance sends its condolences to the friends and family of pro wrestling pioneer Antonio Inoki, an NWA tag team and United National Champion, and most importantly, a legend that will forever be remembered in our business and beyond. AEW President Tony Khan tweeted, quote, RIP Antonio Inoki, a pioneer in the pro wrestling industry. Inoki's influence and his achievements will live on forever in the wrestling world. He's an inspiration to all of the dreamers. Thank you, sir. WWE Chief Content Officer Triple H tweeted, quote, one of the most important figures in the history of our business, and a man who embodied the term fighting spirit. The legacy of WWE Hall of Famer Antonio Inoki will live on forever. The Iron Sheik tweeted, quote, Antonio Inoki, one of the greatest ever. I was his teacher. We sold out the garden and loved each other like family. Respect the Inoki forever. Ring of Honor World Television Champion Samoa Joe tweeted, quote, I found my road. Thank you for everything, Inoki-sama. Rest in power. AEW commentator Taz tweeted, quote, very sad to hear the passing of a true icon of professional wrestling worldwide. Antonio Inoki inspired so many wrestlers for so many decades, including me in my in-ring days. I had the opportunity to wrestle on several tours for Inoki in New Japan Pro Wrestling. He truly changed the game. R.I.P. Impact Wrestling and New Japan Pro Wrestling star TJ Perkins tweeted, quote, if Inoki-san never expanded the dojo system, I never get plucked out of high school and into New Japan Pro Wrestling. Changed my life forever. Most significant mentor I've ever had, and I keep as much of him in the ring with me as I can to this day. Greatest Japanese legend, Ichi ni San Da. Former WWE superstar Lindsay Dorado tweeted out, quote, thank you, Antonio Inoki. AEW star Adam Cole tweeted, quote, RIP Antonio Inoki, a legend in every sense of the word. AEW star Frankie Kazarian tweeted, quote, RIP Antonio Inoki. I would listen to Kowalski tell Inoki stories for hours on end. Thank you for your immense contributions to our sport and the unrivaled legacy you leave behind. Honored to have met you. Godspeed, sir. WWE creative team member Gabe Sapolsky tweeted, quote, RIP Antonio Inoki, a true icon of pro wrestling. AEW producer Pat Buck tweeted, quote, RIP Antonio Inoki, still my favorite match for all the right reasons. The account of the late WWE Hall of Famer Big Van Vader tweeted, quote, Antonio Inoki, my family and I owe you so much. Thank you for everything you did for our family and the business we all love. Prayers to the family, RIP. Artist Rob Schamberger tweeted, quote, sending my love to the family, friends and fans of Antonio Inoki. Former Impact Wrestling X Division champion Rohit Raju tweeted, quote, RIP legend, #Inoki. WWE presenter Matt Camp tweeted, quote, RIP Antonio Inoki. When your slap has that much honor, the term legend is not enough. AEW star William Regal tweeted, quote, deeply saddened to hear of the passing of Mr. Antonio Inoki, the legendary Japanese pro wrestler. Mr. Inoki chose to wrestle me in 1994 and then we became friends, kept in touch and was always very kind to me. My deepest condolences to his family and fans. WWE superstar Natalya tweeted, quote, my grandfather had so much respect for Antonio Inoki and his passion for pro wrestling. Gene Kanitsky, Stu Hart and Antonio Inoki in the picture she posted. Dark Side of the Ring co-producer and creator Evan Husney tweeted, quote, one of my most cherished memories while making Dark Side of the Ring was the incredible opportunity to interview Antonio Inoki. RIP and deepest condolences to his family. New Japan World Service tweeted, quote, thank you, Antonio Inoki. WWE also tweeted out the video of Michael Cole acknowledging the passing of Antonio Inoki on the air on SmackDown last night on Fox. WWE Hall of Famer Mick Foley tweeted, quote, very sorry to learn of the loss of Antonio Inoki. What a towering presence in our business. I loved his matches, especially his classic brawls with Bruiser Brody. #RIP Inoki. The Wrestling Observer newsletter's Dave Meltzer tweeted out, quote, "Antonio Inoki was one of the biggest stars in wrestling history, certainly number 2 in Japan and biggest of the last 55 years, as well as incredibly influential in both the wrestling and MMA businesses. One of the most charismatic humans I've ever met." ESPN tweeted, quote, "Antonio Inoki, a combat sports trailblazer, influential politician, and larger-than-life figure in his native Japan, died Friday at the age of 79. He fought Muhammad Ali in perhaps the highest-profile mixed rules bout ever." Two-time WWE Hall of Famer the Nature Boy Ric Flair tweeted, quote, "Rest in peace, Antonio Inoki. Thank you for the great matches and memories, my friend." Bellator President Scott Coker tweeted, quote, "Rest in peace to Antonio Inoki, an absolute legend of combat sports." The WWE on BT Sport Twitter account tweeted, quote, "Legend, icon, WWE Hall of Famer. Everyone at BT Sport is saddened to learn of the passing of wrestling legend Antonio Inoki, 1943 to 2022. RIP." The Prime Minister of Pakistan, Shehbaz Sharif, tweeted, quote, "Sad to learn about the passing of legendary Japanese wrestler Antonio Inoki. I have a vivid memory of meeting him at a stadium in Lahore 10 years ago. He mesmerized a whole generation with his rare wrestling prowess. My condolences are with his family and Japanese people."